Hi guys, welcome back. Today we are going to be doing a step-by-step tutorial on how I do my everyday makeup. The only difference for this video is that I am switching out my palette that I usually wear for my eyeshadow. I usually like to use this Everyday Faves Ulta palette. The shades are pretty neutral. It does have some shimmers, and this palette is part of my project pan. I will be using this palette instead. This is from Tarte palette. This is the Amazon Clay Matte palette. So all of these are matte. What I like to do first is I like to add a moisturizer. I like to let it sit on my face for a while before I actually do my makeup. I also like to use this Ole Henriksen eye cream. This is just a brightening cream. Just use a little bit of it. You don't want to use too much because I feel like when you have too many products, and I've learned this the hard way, if you use too many like skincare products, it kind of like ruins my foundation and it starts to like peel or melt, and it's just not blending well because of all the skincare and makeup and primers and stuff like that. I'm gonna pat this. I always like to use my ring finger just because it is a little bit more gentle. Okay, so that's pretty much the prep of it. Pretty much what I use is just moisturizer and sunscreen. That's it. First thing, I am going to do my eyebrows. Honestly, the only way that I do it is I just use a pencil and just fill it in like the little places that I have missing hair. So this is a Coty Professional pencil. This is in the color Rich Brunette. I feel like it's a lot faster and a little bit more natural than using a powder, because I did use powder for a bit. I'm just gonna fill in my eyebrows using the back of this pencil. I'm just gonna brush it out, and that's just gonna help blend it out. And as you guys can tell, my eyebrows are very thick up here, so I don't necessarily need to fill it up that much. Honestly, like, my eyebrows are not necessarily like my favorite part. I've never loved my eyebrows. Like, when I was younger, they were a lot thicker, and they don't even grow that much anymore. And I did over pluck them when I was like in my teens, and I feel like they haven't really grown back. I don't do anything to my eyebrows. Every once in a while I'll try to like trim the hairs from going too long, but that's pretty much it. I just fill out the ends and then I go on and do the other side. I try to keep them as natural as possible as I can. I don't know if you guys can tell a difference between this one. It's just a little bit darker than this one. Fill it in, brush it, fill it in, brush it. You don't want any harsh lines. The rule is if you have blonde hair, you want to go a shade or two darker than your natural hair. And if you are a brunette or you have dark hair, you want to go a shade or two lighter than your natural hair, because you don't want to have black eyebrows. Even if you have black hair, you don't want to use black. So that's it for my eyebrows. Like I said, I don't really do much. I feel like for me, what makes my eyebrows look the best is what I do with it afterwards. I'm putting this away. So I'm going to use my foundation. I've been using this Lancome one, or I also like to use the Huda Beauty foundation. I like to use this concealer flat brush. And this is what I'm going to do to carve out my eyebrows. I know a lot of people don't like that, but I feel like for my eyebrows, this is what works. Do not use a concealer to carve out your eyebrows. I know that was like a trend for like 2016, 17, or 18. But I've never used the concealer because I feel like it's too harsh, and you can tell the difference between your foundation and your concealer. You just have like this white cast here. But I like to use foundation and then just pretty much carve out my eyebrows. And I feel like that's what cleans it up. And then with the same brush, you don't want to pick up too much, and then you just blend it out. I also like to use this professional mini foundation brush from Sephora, and then this is just gonna help me blend out. I don't know if you can tell the difference. Like, this one's a little like too blended, and then there's this one, it's just a little bit more cleaned up, and that's what I like to do. And then we're gonna go ahead and do the same thing on the other eyebrow. And I don't want to pick up too much. I like to add it on my hand, and just kind of like if you're painting, like imagine your face is like a painting that you're pretty much going to draw on, and you just want to pick up a little bit. That's one thing that I've learned throughout the years, is to use very minimal foundation and then work your way up, because I used to just go for it. I would just dip it in there and use a lot of foundation because I thought that was like how you were supposed to do it, but you want to do less is more. And sometimes like I do mess up and I accidentally like pick up too much, and then it kind of like gets on my eyebrow hair, and then it's a lot harder to like clean. And that's it for your eyebrows. Whatever is left on my hand from that, I'm just gonna go ahead, put it on this brush and just blend it on my forehead. And then I do like to go in with a sponge, so I always have a brush and a sponge, because I feel like the sponge just helps you like blend everything and just make it seem more flawless. So I'm gonna go in with my sponge and just kind of blend everything else, and it's just gonna pick up any extra foundation maybe and just blend it out a little bit more. I like to just use whatever is left on this brush and apply it on my eyes. I'm gonna use my concealer, and this is where you want to use your concealer underneath your eyebrows, and I like to use it as a bit of a brightener for my inner corner. So I'm gonna be using this like weird concealer angled fluffy-ish brush and these for my eyes. And I'm gonna start, again, I like to apply all of my foundation and products on my hand. I feel like it just blends better, and I don't know, I just like it. I've stopped doing that like method where like you grab your concealer and you just apply it all over your face. Sometimes I do it just for like the aesthetics or whatever. On the regular, this is what I do, and I don't dip it right in. I kind of go from the edge and just blend it out, and I feel like this just gives me like a natural brightening effect. And then using this concealer flat brush is what we're gonna do to just carve underneath our eyebrows. You can also do foundation if you don't want like the brightening effect. Sometimes I just use foundation as well. So pretty much the flat concealer is to apply and help you carve and get like precise lines, and then this one is just to help you blend it out, and this one I just use it to like give me more application. And then I just go in with my sponge just to help me pick up any extra foundation or concealer that I would have added on my eyelid. So now for this palette, I always like to go in with a base color. As you can tell in this palette, oh my god, I almost hit myself. That's my go-to palette that I actually hit pan right there. So as you can tell, I use that one a lot. So from this one, I'm gonna use Super Mom. Pretty much where we added concealer is where I'm gonna apply this shadow. So right on the inner corner, again, to help us brighten it, underneath my eyebrow, and then whatever is left over, I'll just like dust it around the eye. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and just do the other eye too. If you do get a little bit of crease, just go ahead and use your sponge again, and I always like to do this before I apply a powder. Pat it in. So most of the time you want to like just pat on your makeup. I feel like that's the best application. I'm going to take this fluffy brush again, but this one is not flat like the other one. Where is it? Where did I leave it? So you can tell the difference. This one is more flat, and then this one's just more like rounded, and as you can tell, it's really dirty. So I like to always keep in hand like a rag just to help me like clean. So for this one, I'm just gonna go ahead and rub it on this little rag, also to like wipe any extra foundation. So you always want like an extra rag just to like help you clean. My battery died, so I had to go change it. So hopefully the angles are still what? I hope the angles are still kind of the same, because sometimes it looks a little weird. But anyways, I'm gonna use a very natural color. This is Natural Beauty. Dust off any extra when I get a little too excited. If you have semi-hooded or hooded eyes, what you want to do is you want to learn to do your makeup with your eyes open. Yeah, if you have hooded eyes, you kind of want to be a little bit more aware where you apply this shadow. So for me, I don't have like hooded eyes, but I would say I have like semi-hooded eyes. So I kind of have to like do my makeup with my eyes open, just like this, and apply my shadow on top of my crease. Because I want to do like a natural shadow. I like to do little swirl motions. You never want to go in and just like start rubbing just like this. I hope you guys can see that on camera because sometimes the camera washes it out. I'll go in with a darker color. So this is going to be like my transitional color. I believe that's what they call it. And then I'm going to do, I haven't used this shade, so let me test it out first. I'm going to take this like angled fluffy brush and I'm going to use, let's do Best Friend. I haven't really played around with this palette as much, so I'm kind of just like winging it. And this should be darker than the rest. And you want to apply it on your outer corner and then again on your crease just to darken it up. But you don't want to take this color up too high. You want to keep that first color that we applied, our transitional color, a little bit higher than our darker one. This one is called Best Friend. Also, you don't want to take it in too much into your inner corner because then you're going to close up your eye. Scrap everything I say and we're going to start all over. This is my first time like playing around with these colors and So this is my first time playing around with these colors and I haven't really like gotten pretty much like how every color kind of like performs on my skin. So I'm kind of like just playing around with them and I feel like this eye's a little too dark, like way too dark, because usually I like to use like a nice brown bronzy color and I feel like this one's too dark. So I'm going to use the same techniques that I showed you guys, but I'm going to use it on this eye and then I'm going to wipe this one off because it's a little too dark. So instead of using Natural Beauty, I'm going to use this Natural Force, and this is more orangey, more bronzy, and that's kind of what I wanted in my shade. I don't know if you can kind of tell. Oh, I have like the sun right there, but it's more orangey, more bronzy. This is kind of what, like the look that I was going for, where this one's a little bit more dark, a little bit more gray. It's more like a taupe, but this is what I wanted. So again, using that same technique, I'm gonna take that color above my crease. So now I'm gonna take the same eyeshadow again, the angled fluffy brush, and I'm gonna take Natural Beauty, which is a little shade darker, the taupe one that we used on her lid. And that one I'm gonna focus in more lower than our first color, and this should help it intensify just a bit. So technically you should see your transitional color, that one should be a little bit more spread out. And then your crease color should be a little bit closer to your crease. So you don't want to take it up too high. Sometimes I like to use this angled brush, or I like to use, if I can find it. Oh, sometimes I like to use this fluffy brush. It's a lot smaller, obviously, compared to this one. So I guess one tip I can give you guys is the fluffier the brush, the better it is for blending. And then also the denser the brush is, the more color is going to deposit. Okay, so I'm going to show you guys close up. I'm going to be using this micellar cleansing water. I like to use the oil based one because I feel like it takes off my mascara a little bit better. Fluffy brush again, I'm gonna take just a little bit darker brown, not too dark, but just a little bit. So I'm gonna take this shade Dreamer, just go progressively darker. I'm gonna focus it right at the outer corner and then blend it, and it's just gonna give me a little bit more depth. Keep your eye open and just kind of add a little bit more just to give it a little bit more smokiness right on top of the crease. This new palette that I just got, it has 3 darker shades right here and they progressively get dark. I'm not going to use the black, so I'm probably going to stick with this color up here. This one is the shade Multitasker. So for the wing, honestly, I just added it right here when I want to be a little bit more dramatic. I don't add any more color, but I just drag it just like that. Not too much, there's no point. I guess it would be like up to here is where I took my wing, and then clean it up with this. You can also use micellar water or a makeup wipe to clean it. I'm gonna use that fluffy brush again just to take the lighter color and just help it blend a little bit, not too much. Again, you can use a shimmer, but I don't want to use a shimmer. I kind of like very matte brown eyes. Again, I'm using the Lancome foundation. Use my foundation brush and apply it on my hand and just do this. I'm not going to take it in too much underneath my eyes just because I've noticed that if I add too much underneath my eyes, it gets really bad. Like, my eyes already crease, so I don't want it to crease even more. Also, I'm going to try to not add too much foundation on my laugh lines because it creases as well. And then on my nose, I like to like really rub it on my nose. It's more like a dab rub type of situation, because I do have large pores, so like texture skin, and I feel like that just blends in a little bit better. Also, I used to have my nose pierced on this side, and I feel like I have to really go in there and just like to really get in there, because I feel like if there's like an indent in my nose from the piercing, which I kind of regret getting in the first place. That was actually like my second time having a nose piercing. The first time I was 18 and I got my nose pierced, and then like a year later I forgot my nose piercing. I took it off to put on a face mask, and then I forgot to put it back on, and I went down to Mexico for like the month, and then my nose hole closed, and I was too like, I didn't want to get a new hole, so I was like, whatever. And then a couple years later passed by, and I was like, okay, I am going to get my nose pierced again. And that one, honestly, I had it for like the longest time. I don't even know how many years I had it. I had it like maybe 2 or 3 years when it finally fell off, because I was trying to take it off for the longest time, but I could not get it off because they gave me a different piercing this time. The first time they gave me like a curly one, which was easy, in and out. Like, I wouldn't even like play with it. This one, it was like a pencil and then like a flat weird like disc, and you have to like pull it, but for some reason I was just not able to pull it. At first I wanted to take it off to like apply it to like get a new one, like a cuter one, because it was the one that they gave me, but I couldn't take it off. Like, it was just too tight and like it would hurt, and I didn't want to like, you know, I don't know, I didn't want to hurt myself. So like for the longest time I had that nose piercing, and it kind of got to a point where like I hated it and I just wanted it off. And I tried looking it up, like how do I remove it, like what is it, like, and I couldn't find it. Like pretty much what people were saying, because I thought it was like push and then pull, twist, is it a twist, like what is it? And all the videos that I would see online would just be like, just pull it, it's hard but just pull it. And I couldn't, I just could not pull it off. So I don't know, one day I was just in bed, I was just so mad. I was like, I think I spent like 30 to like almost an hour trying to like pull it off. Whatever I could do, just like put my nail in there and like try to pull, and I couldn't take it off. And then I just gave up again. And then one day I was like pretty much like laying down on my stomach on TikTok or something, and I just feel like I just feel like my nose, like the piercing kind of like fall off, and I'm like looking for it, and it had like literally just opened. I think I had loosened it up like the day before, and I was just so happy because I hated my nose piercing. I think I hated it because I feel like I outgrew it and it wasn't like my thing anymore. And then the other thing was that since I couldn't move it, I couldn't change it, and I couldn't like take it off, it like enraged me to hate it even more. So no, I don't think I would ever get my nose pierced again.
Nobody asked.
That little area, like if I don't blend it in, it's always a reminder of when I got my nose pierced for the second time and how much I regret it. I'm gonna use my liquid elf blush. Again, I'm gonna apply it on my hand. I am running out, so there's like barely any in here, which is good because it is part of my project pan. I think this is like a concealer. Oh no, this is a foundation brush. It's a Precise foundation brush from Luxie, but I use it as my blush brush. Again, you want to do some like tapping motion. I'm going to be using this Rare Beauty contour stick. This cream brush, this cream stick is actually really nice and blendable. So I'm going to add it on my forehead and then on my nose. I'm going to do that Ariana nose contour. And then a little bit down here. Not too much because I am going to blend it out. Okay, so I usually have a specific brush for my nose, but I don't know where it is, so I'm just gonna use this one, this concealer one that I was using, but I'm gonna go ahead and clean it. I actually bought a pack of these, but I don't know where I left them. And then taking this one, I'm gonna go ahead and just clean whatever is left over and just blend it out. Not too much, just a little bit. So I'm gonna use a lip tint. This one, I got it, I don't know where I got it, but it says Dragon Renee. It's in the shade 5. I think I got it on Amazon. I'm gonna try to hurry up. I'm gonna use my concealer now. Again, apply it on my hand. If you don't want to apply it on your hand, you don't have to. This is just what I do. And I'm gonna apply this pretty much in the inner corner, like that. Like I said, I would probably use the other one, something a little bit more precise and smaller. And then just blend out whatever is left. Blush, just another fluffy one. I'm using this one right here. That's pretty much it. I'm gonna go ahead and curl my lashes, add some mascara, and then for my lips, I'm just gonna wipe this off and add a lip liner. And I'm gonna go ahead and change my battery because it is dying again, and I just want to finish this video and show you guys everything I'm gonna do. I changed my battery again. Oh, let me do my lashes. So my lashes, they just go down. Like, they're just down. I should definitely start using like falsies or something, but I hate the eyelash glue on my eyes. I feel like it irritates me, so I don't like using them. But I'm just gonna do like a light curl, and then I'm gonna go in with my mascara. Right now I'm using the Falsies by Maybelline. I wouldn't say I love it, I also wouldn't say I hate it, but I wish I can find like a mascara that like I apply and like my lashes don't fall down, which I haven't yet. I do prefer the way that like natural false lashes look, but like I said, it's just the eye glue that's kind of like messing me up right now. I don't like that feeling of glue, especially like after I wash my face. I feel like there's always a little bit of residue. There's always like a little bit of residue of like the glue on my eye, and I don't like that. I'm just gonna use a lip liner, just like a nude. I don't even remember the name of this. It's just a gloss. Honestly, I got this from Shein as well, and it's kind of like this dark reddish. It doesn't look exactly like this. It is a little bit more sheer, but this kind of has been my go-to. This is what it looks like. Gives you like a little bit of color. That's why I like to use the tint. Also, if you use gloss and a darker lip liner, it makes your lips bigger without the filler. But that is it. Actually, no, I forgot a completely different step. I feel like it's because I'm kind of rushed. I feel like I'm being rushed right now because they're telling me to go outside and eat, and I am hungry, but I also gotta do this. I forgot to add bronzer. I just like to use this like fluffy brush. Pat it in there because I'm trying to hit pan and it never hits pan. I feel like it's like very, like it has a lot of product. Like wow, Tarte. I feel like I'm using it, but it's just like not going down. But anyways, I just apply it on my forehead. Makes me look a little bit more bronzy, and it gives it the illusion that it's not as big. And then look at my cheekbones. Okay, and then I'm gonna use a shimmer. I'm just gonna use this one right now with this semi-flat brush, and I'm gonna apply that on my nose and blend it out with my finger. A little bit on my bridge of my nose just to make it look a little bit elongated. But that's pretty much it. You don't want to do too much because then it looks like Rudolph the nose reindeer. What is it called?
The red-nosed reindeer?
Rudolph the little...
Rudolph the red-nosed reindeer.
Rudolph the red-nosed reindeer, but except it's not going to be red. It's going to be shimmery. And then a little bit of that bronzer, no, not bronzer, blush, whatever was left over from my cheekbones. You want to go ahead and just rub it. I feel like it gives you like a little bit more natural finish. I'm almost done. I'm gonna curl my lashes again. I like to wait until it's completely dry. Actually, I don't even suggest you guys do this because this is probably not good for my eyes, but it makes a difference, like you see. But do it at your own risk, because if it doesn't dry all the way, they can get stuck and you can rip your eyelashes off. So don't say I didn't warn ya. Ew, no. But seriously, just be careful with that because you shouldn't be doing that. Now that I like finished with all my powders and everything, what I like to go in with next is my setting spray. It's the one size, and I feel like that one lasts me a long time. I'm not gonna spray it because I'm literally gonna take my makeup off in like 1 or 2 hours, so there's no need. But I'm not even gonna show you guys because it looks so gross. But this is a little brow soap that comes in this like little tin, and I'm just gonna spray it, but I'm not gonna show you because it looks so gross and I'm ashamed. I'm actually ashamed. Call me cheap or whatever, but I love this brush from the Precisely My Brows Benefits. I don't know what it is, but this brush is just so good, and I don't want to throw this thing away. I haven't used this pencil brush in like since like 2021 or something. I don't know, when I used to like work at Sephora or whatever. So it's been a while, but I like to use that brush, rub in my brow soap. And I know a lot of people don't like brow soaps, but I do. But I also don't like to like make them super fluffy or whatever. But I'm just gonna take off any of the extra soap. You don't want too much soap. And I like to just brush them up. Oh, I need more. I like to brush them up and then down. I don't like to do like super feathered eyebrows because I mean, some people can pull it off for sure. I don't think I can. I feel like I did like them like back in the day, but not anymore. But I feel like I have to do this step or else my lashes just fall down. And then down. Well, not even down, just like to the side. But you don't want them to look too crazy. But can you see the difference? Can you? I hope you can, or else I'm just wasting my time, I guess. I like to put my hair up in like these little buns because I feel that it makes my curls last a little bit longer. But that is it. I hope this looks nice when I'm like looking back at it. Okay, but that was it. I was gonna go and change my shirt and look a little bit more presentable, but it's fine. It's fine. that was it, you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hopefully it's like long and detailed and you guys are able to understand it. But yeah, that was it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Go ahead and like and subscribe and leave me any comments or any like tips that you guys use for your makeup. It's always nice to like, you know, watch other people's tips or stuff like that. But anyways, I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye.